So how does it feel for you to come back here in the present state? Because when you first came here, you were imitating people's voices, you were dressing like them, you were looking like them. Soon you moved into where you were simply singing like them and dressing like yourself. But now you're back singing like yourself and dressing like yourself, and actually you're one that they now imitate.
Well, I didn't, you know, when I came here, I don't even want to say it, I came here in 1986 for the first time. I was so scared, and I was like, I had been performing in Atlantic City, New Jersey from, I don't know, 1984 to 1986. But the summer of '86, I came to Provincetown. I didn't know what Provincetown was. I came here with my Marilyn Monroe drag, and I came to do, but I always in my show, I did Marilyn for the first 15 minutes of the show, and then I came out to do the voices. And for years, you know, we would use the Marilyn picture to lure the people in, but beyond that, they were so, they were, I think, pleasantly surprised that I would give them all these voices, like, you know, famous divas. And over the years, I realized that the strongest part of the show really was the voices. So I always was like looking at my watch saying, oh, how much longer can I do the Marilyn thing? Because look, the one thing I didn't want to become was a Grandma Monroe for anybody. And I hate, you know, I hate those queens that get stuck, you know, and they get older and they're still doing drag, and it just seems to look sad to me in some way. And I didn't want to become that. And I always had, like, you know, a bit of a, I don't know, I wanted to be kind of taken seriously as an artist. And when you're just an impersonator, when you're just when you're a look-alike in show business, that's almost, you know, it's not really that respected. I mean, it's fun, but it's not really respected. You're not respected as an artist. And so as the years went on, I started to realize that I was doing Marilyn longer than Marilyn did Marilyn. I mean, I did Marilyn for like 14 years, and Marilyn only did Marilyn for about 10. That's it.
Wow.
I mean, she came into existence, let's say, really about 1953, and she was dead by 62. So she was Marilyn for about 9 years, maybe 10, and I was doing it, I did Marilyn for about 14 years. So I decided I need to move on, I need to evolve, and also it wasn't feeling right to me anymore. It didn't feel right. It started to feel like I could very easily start to turn into a parody of myself. And I didn't want that to happen. And believe me, when I wanted to shed the drag, I mean, everybody around me was like, you're committing career suicide. And I thought, well, you know what? If it's career suicide, then so let it be. I can't go back. I can't be Marilyn Monroe for the rest of my life. There's just no way. And so I always had a yearning and a desire to write music. At the core of my show, the real core of what I do is music. You know, I might be doing my voice impression of Cher, Eartha Kitt, Billie Holiday, Patsy Cline, Judy Garland, Barbra Streisand, you know, Diana Ross and Lionel Richie and whatever. You know, at the core of my show, it's the music. I'm in love with music. I'm not really in love with doing voice impressions. I love the music. And that's really what turns me on. What turns me on a lot is songs. And I think songs are very special. And so I have a reverence for songwriting. And that is why in my shows, I don't parody songs. I don't like to change lyrics. I love to sing the song as is, with the lyrics in place that were originally written.
But your style.
Right. Well, within the style of, like, if I'm doing Patsy Cline, I don't parody the lyrics. I don't change them. I have a reverence for songs. So, lo and behold, it was around, well, it was around 2000. I really was like, I gotta do this. It's now or never. So around 2000, I started really working, trying to make my music happen, trying to be a songwriter, took a lot of work. And also, there's a stigma. I had developed a stigma. Oh, he's just an impersonator, or he's just a Marilyn Monroe look-alike, or he's just a sound-alike. No one giving me the chance until finally I had done some work with Marcus Moser from Made Records. It's an independent label. And he had helped me in producing one of my Voices CDs. And I found out that he's European, and he does dance music, and he's a straight guy who's like all European straight guys. What the straight guys love here is rock and roll in the US, but in Europe, the straight guys, they love dance music. And over here in the States, you know, a lot of gays like dance music, you know. But he's totally straight, and he loves dance music. I was like, wow, this is so cool. And he had done some work in Europe. I heard some of his work. Well, we parted ways because I had finally finished my project with Voices, the one in many voices of Jimmy James. He helped make that happen. But I went off, and he went off on his way. Next thing I find out, I think it's about 2001, Rapture, the song Rapture is a huge hit worldwide by the group IO. It turns out that Marcus is in the group IO. So I start calling him saying, oh my God, your song is amazing. Mi amore, don't you know, my love, I need you so. I was so blown away. It was so cool. And to know that that was him. And I hadn't seen him in a couple of years, so I reconnected with him, but he was so busy touring around the world with that song. And he was IO. He was half of the group IO. He did the keyboard and production, and then he had the singer, Nadia. And so they were so busy, and I was like, oh, God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? So there was Gay Pride in Houston, and it was 2004. And I had already been in talks with him for several years now, but we could never get together. It's Gay Pride in Houston. I remember I was playing a club, and he was playing a big dance club, and I had a big feathered headdress. And after we did the Gay Pride parade, I marched on over to the club where he was performing at. I knocked on the door. Security looked and said to him, you know, there's this guy out there with a big feathered headdress who wants to see you. So I barged in, and he was like, oh my God. He had no idea I was in town. And that summer, I wasn't in Provincetown. I was working in a club in Houston for the summer. And so then I said, when are you going to send me an instrumental? And so finally he sent me an instrumental. And the first song I wrote was Fashionista. I mean, it just flew out. I mean, all the lyrics just flew out.
So he gave you the music, and you were listening to it, and you wrote the lyrics to the music. Wow.
Yeah, because I need the music. I don't really know how to play an instrument. So he gave me the music, and then I wrote the lyrics. And then I called him, and I said, you know, I've written something, I think it's kind of weird, but I don't want to second guess myself. And I sang it to him over the phone with the music playing on the jam box, and he says, all right, come to the studio tomorrow. And I was like, really? So then, as time went on, I finally recorded the song. It finally got released 2006. It got on the Billboard charts and got as high as, I think, number 12 or something.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool. I wrote the song on my bathroom floor in my apartment in Manhattan. I mean, and I wanted it so badly. And then a little bit later on, with the invention of YouTube, it's so amazing now because you can go on YouTube, and I went on YouTube and I see all these drag queens lip-syncing to my song, and kids dancing to my song, teenage girls, even straight guys are dancing to my song, acting gay. And it was really great to see that.